It was the kind of royal power move that no one saw coming, and it hit like a thunderbolt. Fast, cold, and unapologetically loud behind palace doors, the crown didn't just draw a line, they drew blood. According to explosive reports flying in from royal insiders, every single remaining UK property tied to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has now been officially seized. The fairy tale homes that once held baby steps, secret planning sessions, and whispered hopes for a new kind of royalty, gone. Just like that.
Did you see my baby mama dance?
I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday, and I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Is that Prince Harry there with the fingers and the, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own term.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. It's so authentic, isn't it?
The timing wasn't just curious, it was suspicious. Right after whispers started swirling about offshore accounts linked to their former ventures, the palace made their move. Fast, calculated, brutal. Harry and Meghan, they didn't even see it coming. According to people in their circle, the blow felt like betrayal. Silent, but vicious. Assets frozen. Lawyers mobilized. Their entire financial legacy under a microscope. One palace aide didn't hold back, reportedly saying the family isn't just shutting the door, they're bolting it shut. Royal watchers were stunned. This wasn't just about a house here or there. The crown had reportedly moved to reclaim every single UK-based property connected to the couple, whether through trusts, LLCs, or royal registry. Whispers, the entire monarchy shook.
So much fun.
You and I are so similar. You and I.
With your guests, when was the last time you were surprised and delighted?
Last night, and also this morning, but last night when I went back to my hotel, and then you put your thumbprint in, which is what makes it a fun group activity, and you could fill it with jam, you could do chocolate, anything you like, of course.
Hey, lowly cameraman, come over here and try some fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. We need to make it look like I actually care about my camera crew. Come get some fried chicken. Act like you're having fun. Act like you're having fun.
What matters is what we have on the inside.
At the center of the storm was none other than Frogmore Cottage, the cherished Windsor residence that Queen Elizabeth herself once gifted to the couple. Yes, the same one they poured £2,400,000 sterling, 0 pence, into renovating using taxpayer money. A cost that triggered headlines and fury after they stepped down. But Frogmore wasn't the only one. Other lesser-known addresses tied to shadowy Sussex-aligned trusts were also reclaimed quietly, legally, mercilessly.
This woman is a born manipulator. The Netflix thing, she doesn't do the work. She don't make the jams. It's all made for her.
Before we even get to the main event.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile.
Oh my gosh, I worked so hard.
She talks like she's a one-woman band. That is not hard work. Hard work is get up in the morning, get to 7 o'clock, get into a factory or a shop and working for 10 hours on your feet, coming home knackered. That's not what happens to her.
And still being a mom.
Still being a mom.
There were no press conferences, no teary goodbyes, just lock changes, legal notices, sealed documents. A senior royal aide reportedly described it as a quiet closure of unfinished business. Cold, surgical, done. To fans of the Sussexes, those homes represented connection, a place where Harry could feel the ghost of Diana, where Meghan once hoped to find peace. But to the royal firm, they were relics of unresolved drama, and now they're history.
Proud to. If you excuse the massive book deals, the Silicon Valley startups, the preaching videos about well-being, the podcasts, the speeches, and the major network interviews with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to James Corden. But they've barely been seen or heard at all, have they? Well, on Thursday, they'll quietly and apologetically release their $100 million.
I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you? Mindy and I are such great friends, like besties. Like, I love her. Like, she doesn't know my name, but we're best friends.
It's about an hour-long cab ride. Never seen his grandchildren. This show is packed with a kind of spurious claims and hypocrisy that have become the Sussex signature. We learned they began making videos about their heroic journey 6 months before their Netflix deal was even announced, and right at the start of a pandemic that was killing.
There's a real delight in being able to be a present parent. And it's a luxury sometimes because we all have to work. We all have a lot of stuff to do. But when you can take a minute to just...
Saturday morning.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
And here's where it gets even messier. The speed of it all raised serious eyebrows. Why now? Why this sudden urgency? Sources say it wasn't about property. It was about power. After years of restraint, the Crown finally went on the offensive. And what pushed them over the edge? Not a scandal, but something far more dangerous.
This series, and they'll believe it. They'll believe the smears about Britain and our monarchy, that we're a bunch of bigoted and hateful people. They even blamed Brexit for the racism, which apparently was aimed at Meghan Markle, which is just completely absurd. But by far the most sickening part of this show for me was the constant use of Harry's...
This also follows all the stories about her bullying staff over here in the UK, which is unresolved. NDAs stopped all that stuff coming out, but she bullied people in a very unpleasant way over here.
Hello all, sorry we're late, our flight was delayed.
It was mint though. Tell them we were in mint.
They gave you a mint. How lovely. I have some gum in my purse if you'd like.
Oh, we were in mint. It's like their business class. It's really nice. And
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
Specifically, offshore account. But these weren't your average savings accounts. These were intricate global structures connected to Sussex branding ventures, nonprofits, even shell companies operating in offshore havens like the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, and Guernsey. And while having offshore entities isn't illegal, what alarmed insiders was their opacity.
Harry and Meghan are the problem. And while we're going to go over all the people that they've hired, just as a great reminder, the couple have hired plenty of professionals before. People at high levels who have worked for Bill Gates, Patagonia, all these sorts of things. And yet none of them have been successful. The common denominator in everything here is Harry and Meghan.
Several financial reporters claim internal audits flagged all sorts of shady red flags, weird revenue timings, suspiciously timed donations, and questionable classifications of expenses. Money from Netflix, speaking gigs, podcasts. There are whispers it all flowed through these offshore networks, conveniently skirting the UK's declaration standards they were once bound by as working royals. No charges have been filed, no formal investigations launched yet.
Hours of this Netflix series paint a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us.
The only thing HRH stands for in association with Meghan Markle is her ruthless homewreckerness.
But according to one chilling quote from a palace advisor, when clarity disappears, confidence follows. The palace had seen enough. It wasn't revenge. It was self-preservation. And inside Harry and Meghan's Monaceto mansion, absolute chaos. Sources say the news of the property's seizure hit like lightning. One insider revealed Meghan broke down during a video call with legal and brand advisors, allegedly exclaiming, "Is this how they want to erase us?" She was shaken, trying to keep it together, but the call abruptly ended. Damage control would have to wait. As for Harry, it was personal, and just when we thought they might respond, they didn't. There was a draft statement prepared, passionate, measured, defiant, but then scrapped. Too emotional, too risky, too much to lose. So instead of speaking, they vanished. No press, no interviews, no social media, not even a quote. Their silence screamed, because for a couple whose brand is built on speaking their truth, this retreat was deafening, and it left fans with one terrifying question: were they out of alignment or out of options? To those on the outside, the Crown's seizure of Harry and Meghan's properties may have looked abrupt, bold, even cruel. But palace insiders, they're singing a different tune. According to whispers from deep within royal operations, this move wasn't a snap decision. No, it was the result of years of hushed debate and quiet power plays. Behind the gilded curtains, advisors had been wrestling with one brutal question. How long could the monarchy allow this dual existence? Harry and Meghan, though stripped of titles, still held on to the real estate of royalty. Frogmore, others tucked under corporate veils. But they were also globe-trotting influencers with multi-million-dollar Netflix deals, Spotify drama, and a carefully curated image. The contradiction? Blinding. The final push, insiders claim, came from a powerful faction in King Charles's inner circle. Their demand? A new royal precedent. Privileges must match responsibilities. One aide reportedly put it bluntly, you can hold the keys to the estate if you've stopped attending the family meetings. And just like that, the wheels turned. But instead of a public statement or press storm, the Crown went full ghost mode. Documents filed, titles shifted, locks changed, quiet, ruthless, done. Even commentators who once stayed neutral are now calling it for what it is. The Crown didn't just reclaim real estate, it reclaimed control. Still, the question buzzing across royal chat groups and financial forums alike is, was it a coincidence that the property seizures came within days of the offshore account whispers? The palace, of course, made no public link, but the timing? It spoke volumes. Across continents, media picked it up and ran. British broadcasters were polite, painting it as protocol. But in the US, it was open warfare. Some dubbed it a quiet revenge. Others called it long overdue. But everyone agreed this was the defining moment. Headlines from London to LA screamed of a royal reset. Terms like the line in the sand, the silent exile, and property power play started trending faster than you could say Buckingham. Social media exploded. Hashtags like royal reset, Sussex reclaim, and Slushgate started trending. TikTok sleuths posted dramatic timelines trying to connect the dots. Property deeds, shady bank rumors, Meghan's silence. Everyone had a theory. YouTube creators released videos breaking down registry changes, financial filings, and interview gaps. Even typically calm royal forums were on fire. Some called it a betrayal, others, a necessary line in the sand. One commenter summed it up chillingly. You don't get to cash the Crown's checks and then close the door. But the most unsettling part? The silence. Still, no public statement, no interview, not even a clever Instagram story. For a couple who once controlled their narrative with military precision, this hush is alarming. And in the world of media optics, silence is a vacuum, and vacuums get filled. And while no legal accusations have been filed, not yet. Industry insiders say Harry and Meghan's legal team is in emergency mode. Behind Monaceto's manicured hedges, internal reviews are reportedly underway. Standard protocol for public figures under scrutiny? Yes. But that doesn't mean the pressure isn't crushing. They're allegedly auditing their corporate web, checking every partnership, making sure every dollar aligns. Because here's the kicker. Even if there's no legal fallout, brand damage? That's another story. Multiple PR strategists warn, brands don't need proof to panic. All it takes is a whiff of scandal. One cosmetics giant is said to be watching closely. Their contract reportedly includes a morals clause that allows them to pull out if public trust takes a dive, and right now, that trust is on shaky ground. The Sussex brand, once bulletproof, built on authenticity, vulnerability, and trauma turned to triumph, is wobbling badly. For a brand that promises transparency, whispers of financial secrets and palace property snatches are the ultimate contradiction. As one strategist put it, you don't have to be guilty to lose momentum, you just have to lose the narrative. And guess what? They're losing it, because this moment isn't just about real estate or some dusty financial trail. It's about everything they stood for. Independence, authenticity, truth. And now, that foundation is starting to crack. They're not just being cut off, they're being cut out. And if they don't wrest back control soon, their story may no longer be theirs to tell. It will belong to the tabloids, to the critics, to the Crown. Let's break it down. The Crown has allegedly reclaimed every remaining UK property tied to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. At the same time, offshore accounts tied to their ventures raised red flags behind closed doors. Though there's no confirmed wrongdoing, the optics alone are damaging. Harry and Meghan were reportedly shocked, shaken, and silent. Their legal team is on full alert, checking every detail. And their once dominant narrative, it's slipping fast. And so we're left with this haunting question. Is this the final curtain or just the beginning of the next brutal chapter?